Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. I am honestly so thrilled you're here today because, well, we're going to embark on a bit of a cognitive rebellion. We are going to take that glowing rectangle in your pocket. Yeah, the exact one that's probably trying to ping you right now with a spam call, a social media alert, and like 3 useless app updates. And we're completely re-engineering it. We are going to transform your Android device from a distraction machine into a literal high-fidelity external neocortex. So I want you to take a second and really audit your relationship with your device. Right now, as it sits there on your desk or in your hand, is your phone a precision tool that you wield to build your future? Or has it kind of become a cage, trapping your attention in this relentless cycle of algorithmic feeds and endless consumption? It's a harsh question, I know, but answering it honestly is the absolute first step to taking your mind back. Okay, let's dive into this. Today we're going to cover the pocket-sized paradox, the 2-second capture rule, organizing with the para method, setting up your personal AI librarian, reclaiming your digital environment, and finally, the weekly review habit.
All right, Section 1, the pocket-sized paradox, overcoming information overload.
Here's the paradox, right? We hold arguably the most powerful productivity tool ever devised, yet it almost always functions as a primary source of cognitive fragmentation. In its default state, it's just a distraction device, engineered to commoditize your attention. It basically forces your biological brain to act defensively as a temporary storage facility for fleeting thoughts. But we want to shift that into a cognitive powerhouse. We're talking about moving from passive consumption to intentional production, leveraging a real, structured digital infrastructure to achieve genuine creative freedom. And that structured infrastructure, that is what we call a second brain. It's basically an external system for your memory and decision-making. By totally offloading the burden of retaining information to your device, you free up your biological brain to do what it actually does best: synthesize and create. And Android is literally the ultimate canvas for this. Thanks to its incredibly deep automation capabilities and open file management, we can build a system that ensures you never, ever lose a great idea again. Moving right along to Section 2, the 2-second capture rule, frictionless entry on Android. 5 seconds! Okay, that is the harsh reality of knowledge management. If it takes you more than 5 seconds to unlock your phone, find an app, and pull up a keyboard, boom, the thought is gone. It's just lost to the noise of daily life. The structural integrity of your entire second brain depends entirely on how incredibly fast you can record a thought. So, how do we beat that 5-second clock? Well, by leveraging some deep Android integrations. Automation apps like Tasker or MacroDroid let you put a quick note tile right up in your pull-down settings. Just tap, type, and it's saved. Or say you're driving. You can use Gemini Live. Just think out loud in a messy brain dump and literally tell Gemini, hey, summarize this as a markdown note for my inbox. Add in some quick capture widgets or circle to search, and you have absolutely zero excuses for losing an idea. Just take a moment to breathe and absorb this. Friction is the enemy of genius. The primary metric for your capture system is not the quality or the polish of your initial note. It is purely the speed of its acquisition. A chaotic note captured in 2 seconds, that's raw material you can refine later. But a brilliant insight that you never recorded because of app friction? That is simply a lost asset.
All right, Section 3, organizing with the para method, defeating the digital junk drawer.
Now, what's really interesting about this step is data sovereignty. Before we even organize, we have to decide where this data lives. While cloud platforms are fantastic for collaboration, they do introduce proprietary lock-in. A professional second brain is a lifelong asset. That's why Obsidian is highly recommended here. It's local first, meaning it stores knowledge as simple, future-proof markdown files directly on your device. It's offline, instantly fast, and lets your ideas connect naturally, a lot like biological synapses. Once you have your app sorted, you absolutely need a structure. The para method is pretty much the gold standard here. You use numbered folders to force a logical order. First, 01, projects. These are active, alive, and have a hard deadline. Second, areas, ongoing responsibilities with high standards, like your finances or your health. Third, resources, your passive interests and reference materials. And fourth, archives, literally anything inactive. The vital distinction you must make here is between a project and a resource. Please do not let your active, deadline-driven work get buried under the weight of interesting but currently irrelevant research data. Section 4. Your personal AI librarian, conversing with your data. We are totally shifting away from simply searching for exact keywords to actively interrogating our own verified insights. This is all powered by Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. It creates what we call grounded intelligence. Instead of asking a generic AI a question and getting some scraped web summary, actually scratch that. It's more like turning yourself from a mere collector of information into a master synthesizer, surfacing these forgotten connections from your own past thoughts. So how does this actually work on Android? Well, you can point a tool like Notebook LM strictly at your Obsidian folders. You ask it a complex question and it answers using only your notes. Plus, using Android's App Search API or semantic search apps like Mem, you can search for broad concepts. You don't have to remember if you type the exact word focus or concentration. The system recognizes the intent behind your query. And with Tasker, your phone can even auto-tag your notes based on exactly where you are or what Wi-Fi network you're on. It essentially acts as a deeply integrated collaborative librarian.
Okay, Section 5. Reclaiming your digital environment. Entering monk mode.
So the crucial point is that the user interface of your phone is essentially the environment of your mind. If your phone is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. We fix this with the lead domino strategy. You place a massive 4x2 widget right there on your home screen, and it displays one thing, your current #1 priority project. This acts as an incredibly powerful visual anchor. Every single time you unlock your device, your primary objective is the very first thing you see, instantly shielding you from distraction.
To truly reclaim the device, we have to strip away all that visual noise. Think about swapping out the colorful grid of distracting icons for a minimalist text-based launcher like Niagara or Before Launcher. Hide social media. The only tools immediately visible should be for capturing, searching, and reading your knowledge vault. Finally, use Android's work profiles or focus mode to create strict notification silos. When you are in deep research mode, absolutely nothing but your second brain tools should have the permission to interrupt you, period.
Which brings us to Section 6, the weekly review habit, habits over apps. Let's move to and see how this all builds into a continuous, living habit loop known as the code method. Capture, process, connect, and review. This isn't just a static destination. It's an ongoing practice. The really hard truth of this explainer is that absolutely no amount of architectural elegance or clever Android automation can compensate for a lack of personal discipline. The glue holding this whole shebang together is the non-negotiable weekly review. You have to set a time, say Sunday evening. You must sit down and completely empty that digital inbox. Move your quick captures into their proper parafolders. Link disparate ideas together using bidirectional backlinks. And be ruthless here. Delete the redundant or useless items you captured in the heat of the moment. Then plan your upcoming week. Without this maintenance, your beautifully designed second brain will inevitably devolve right back into an overwhelming digital junk drawer. But listen, if you maintain the habit, the payoff is immense. By establishing frictionless capture, choosing local first sovereignty, and organizing for action, you completely transform your relationship with information. You no longer have to fear forgetting things. You no longer have to feel overwhelmed by the endless stream of daily data. Your biological brain is finally unburdened, free to do exactly what it was meant to do: create, solve, and lead. Which brings us right back to where we started. I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder today. Look at your phone again. Is it currently a tool you use to build your future, or is it a cage that traps your attention in the present? The choice is entirely yours, and the architecture is literally waiting for you to build it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start your digital audit today.